What's up, my darling MVPs, and how are you all doing? Welcome back to Sale with Mimiciously Mimi, where you get the gist. I see they do waiting. I see they hurt. Of course, you know there's no sleeping on a bicycle on this channel. If you snooze, you do what? You lose. Are you here to subscribe to this channel? Or are you still sitting on a fat, long thing? Kindly pause right there, subscribe, and make sure you turn on the notification bell. If not, tell me, how do you want to get the gist brewing from the cooking pot? Like, how do you want to get the gist? I see the hurt, guys. You know, yesterday the housemates went for their diary session. Half of the housemates went. So today the continuation happened. And yes, today's diary session is actually kind of to me, especially that of Jareed. That of Jareed actually like, what is this guy saying though? So guys, just watch this video to the very end so you don't miss any of the gist at all, okay? You tell me what you think about all of the shenanigans happening with us housemates, because it is given at this point the game is actually playing with some of your faves right now. Okay, first off, the first person to make it to the diary room today was the head of house, Mpumi, after she walked past her co-wife and her hobby. Yes, so because it's still her hobby, because all this I'm not doing again, I don't understand. Maybe we'll talk about that later on my next video. So in her diary session, Biggie asked her how she's feeling being the head of house. She says she is so elated, that she is so happy being the head of house, at least to have scaled through this week's eviction. It is a plus week for her again, but she feels most of her housemates do not like her for reasons she do not know why, because during the final stage of the head of house game, that almost all of the housemates was clamoring for Z to win and not herself. You know that she do not feel bad about that. Maybe there are some things Z does that they like about her, but she just observed that most of the housemates do not really like her. In my mind, I'm like, wait, how can you say most of the housemates do not really like you? They don't even nominate her during during nomination. She barely stand up or for anything for nomination. So I think the word hate is actually that they don't really like her is actually quite strong, because I think she's one of the housemates that is being liked in that house. Yes, because she has not been standing. So anyways, that was what she observed, though, that she's not really liked in the house. And then Biggie asked her, so how is it going on being the head of her? She said it's gonna be a tough one, but right now she's still trying to build conversations with the housemates. But she thinks she's gonna learn a lot of leadership skill, before her leadership elapsed. And then Biggie asked her the nominations thing, in that if she had the power to save and replace, who would she have saved and replaced? She now said she would have saved Papa Ghosts and replaced with young Papi. I know when many people hear that one, they will be like, yo, why did Biggie do this fate thing? And they would have just leave it so that young Papi would be up. And guess what? Even if that happened, maybe she wouldn't have even replaced with young Papi, because right now she had enough time to think about it and reply. Maybe then she would just be in a hurry and mention the person you never expected. Anyways, she said she would have saved Papa Ghost because Papa Ghost is quite competitive and has the power to carry out tasks, help her win their wager tasks. Like, when it comes to productivity, you would see Papa Ghost there. And then that's somebody that you've been going at, and he has been standing without leaving. You've been trying to bring man down. He has not been going down. It obviously means that he is strong. She is actually referring to Papa Ghost. That means he is actually strong. So he thinks it's high time to remove your eyes from him and remove the weak ones. And then he said for young Papi that he feels that young Papi is also strong. So hence she needed to let the competitive one keep going while keep some closer. So Biggie asked her, does it mean that is your strategy? You keep some strong ones closer and then you remove some? And she said it's not really a strategy, but that's what she think it is at this point. She said she love it when people cannot predict her. She loves being unpredictable. You would think, oh, she would do this thing and she would do another. That is kind of her game, you get. And she was happy that it was Willie who passed the badge to her. And then for young Papi's diary session, in his diary session, Biggie asked him which of the nominations, surprised him. And he said at this point, none of the nomination is actually surprising, you know, that he would say Willie. If you want to say, he would say Willie because himself and Willie are kind of safe because they built beautiful relationship with all of the housemates. There is no bad blood, with any of the housemates. That the only time young Papi was up was because of, what was it called, Mark Jr. and Taki, and Taki was solely because of new-ish, which he thinks that is not supposed to be a reason, that it is not that deep in this house, the way the housemate take this relationship thingy so deep, that even with himself and Z, that it is not that deep, that they've told them that they are just friends. If people think they are dating, then fine, whatever they think, it is okay. But to him, he feels all this relationship thingy happening in the house is not that deep. Z fans were like on the comment section, what is this one saying? You see, this boy is playing a game, yada yada yada. Anyways, he feels that big because Vicky was asking them, why do some people are always up every time? Then he started listing that based on what the housemates were doing, and that's him and Willie, why they are always safe, why they are always lucky, and he also explained the Jareed thinking going on. He was like, he's also not that deep, that he thinks Mpumi was being one-sided, because of the triangle, the trio between the Liema, the Jalimpu ship, the way she approached it was not quite cool according to him, and he feels that Mpumi was a bit one-sided. And according to him, he said Mpumi being the head of house is kind of not safe for him because, for example, if he had issue with Jareed, Mpumi would not want to see who is truly at fault, but would always side Jareed because why, they have a team together, and he think that is not how a leader should, be. That he do not like people calling people names like short and all of that. That's what happened between Yolanda and Liema. They started calling names, and I remember his nomination to because of Els was because of name calling. He said Els called Makeke names. Anyways, and Z, he called Z yesterday. I think he made a mistake calling Z in today again. Z was kind of surprised. And then Biggie asked Z, "What is that look?" And Z was like, "No, big brother, it's because of you call. I've already gone for my diary session, and you're calling again." I think it was a mistake from Biggie's end. Anyways, when Z got in this time around, because I not really get to discuss this diary session yesterday. So when Z got in, and then Biggie was like asking Z about the head of house game, and then Z was like, yes, she was almost close to winning, but she's also happy that Mpumi won. At least a girl did it this time around, that it was so sweet to see that Mpumi is the new head of house and not like the regular thinking with the guys and everything. And then Biggie can then to ask her about these nominations, why does the same people, happen to be okay? That was she shocked about any nomination? She said actually she was not shocked, but that she was surprised that she is not up, that she was thinking she's gonna be standing, but she was surprised that she was not up, and then she was also surprised that Papa Ghost was not up, that she was also thinking Papa Ghost would be standing up. And Biggie asked her that the same people are always, up all the time. Why is it like that? And then she said she thinks that with what she has observed with the face-to-face nomination, that she thinks, it is quite based of beef, beef that housemates have with each other. Like for her, for example, that sometimes the reason she gives for nominations are lies. And then people were like, oh, does that means that you've been like, that means what we were saying you lied about Liema was true? Because she said Liema is untidy, and people started bringing videos of where Lerato was saying, you see that one, she's so clean, she's clean. Remember Lerato and Papagos, ever since they came back from the hiding, they have always been watching people who bait and do not bait. So there was this video where Lerato was trying to tell someone that Liema is so clean that one can base for Africa. That kind of talk. So people are like, so why would this say that thing? So for this to have come now to say some of her reasons for nominations are lies. And Biggie was like, did I hear you right? And then she said, yes, Biggie, because sometimes we do not have any reason, and when we give you reason, you'll be like, we should change it. I don't blame them anyways, because why would Biggie always tell them change it? That reason is not acceptable. Why not take the reason and let them be? You get? I don't blame them. And then Biggie actually cautioned her and tell her that she has the whole week to think about her reason, and Biggie forget that this house, you might not even have someone in mind to nominate. Then 2 days or maybe the day of that nomination, that's when someone will get to you, be like, I'll nominate this person. You understand? So Biggie was like, she should take the week to check who she's going to nominate and all of that, Ever since they've been dragging Z, that you have actually said your truth, that you lie when you give your reasons. for nomination. Anyways, I think she might not be the only one on this shoot, because some of them might just lie because they do not really have full reason, because they don't want to say, oh, because I'm beefing this person, or because we are dragging a man, that kind of a thing. Anyways, after Z was else, else said the day has been so lonely that she's actually feeling the impact of Millet and Taki, that she feels so alone in the house. Like, it's really getting to her, because when it's just like this, when it gets too heavy on her, she just pour it out on Millet, even if sometimes she keep repeating her advice, but at least she feels lighting, pouring it all out to Millie. But right now, she do not even really have anyone to really talk to. And then Biggie asked about the head of house and everything, and she said she is so happy seeing Mpumi win this one. That Mpumi is her girl, and then she's happy that the girls are doing it at this point. And Biggie asked her the people she thinks nominated her, and then she did mention Makeke, because of truly they are not cool. And then she mentioned Liema, possibly because of Jareed. And then she mentioned she said maybe Young Papi might still nominate her, because Young Papi complained a whole lot that she was quite disrespectful to that she called Makeke name. That means really Young Papi really confronted her, and truly she was right. And then she also said maybe Willie too, because Willie said that she's quite disrespectful, that those are the three or before housemates that she thinks would nominate her. Guys, Jareed's diary session. What? What was it called? Eviction cannot do does not exist. First off, I would have loved to go so deep with Jareed's diary session, right? Because of most of the things he's saying here started off with whatever conversation he was having with Mpumi outside. But maybe my next video I will discuss those parts. But Biggie called Jareed to the diary room, and then the first question Jareed had to give Biggie, like that he has actually pondered a whole lot about this his punishment, and then he has been wondering why his own punishment is kind of severe than others, that he had to get to clean all of the house, get to do all of this thinking, why others just get maybe a sound or something, why is his own different, that he has been pondering on that. Not until Mpumi knows how to play on someone's mind. Like, she would work on your mind without you knowing, so what she said. And then he has been pondering, and Pumi asked him and said, have you wondered why they gave you a maid outfit? And then he said, maybe because Biggie think I'm not cleaning well enough in the house, so he want me to clean. And then Mpumi now said, so that you would have to feel what a woman feels. Hey, jeez, this one entered this boy's head. So he has been pondering, he has been thinking about it, telling Biggie that he do not know why and all of that. But after everything, Biggie just cut it off and asked him about the nominations, how the housemate nominates, and he said he think the housemate nominates based on emotions and all of that. And then for the head of house, that he is so happy that Mpumi is the head of house, because Mpumi is just like her. That Mpumi is just like her, that Mpumi is definitely going to lead well, that there is no other person he would have wanted to win this that is not Mpumi. I'm like, okay, now he still went back again and start talking about this, his dagger that Millet threw at him, that is actually teaching him a whole lot, that his grandma wahala, that his grandma was a cleaner, and he's actually made him remember the two ladies in his life, that is Mpumi and Liema, that lost their grandma. Guys, it was just a lot. Most times when I look at Jareed, I just feel like maybe he's going through it. He just need a therapist. That boy need a therapist. Like, guys, I don't know if I'm the only one seeing it. Like, he need a therapist. He's just like that when that he's also saying thank you to Millet for actually throwing that dagger at him, because when Millet threw that dagger at him, the reaction from the crowd has got him worried. That means that whatever happening in this house has actually showed a different personality of himself, which is not whom he is. That maybe the gameplay he has been playing, has actually showed off rubbed off a different kind of way, which is not good for his image, and his brand. Then he said this, he said that right now it is so difficult to actually pull off, it's so hard, it's so bad that he just gets to realize that in the bid of trying not to hurt any of the ladies, due to his man nature as a man, that was what he said, he could not let one go. He was just trying to hold this one to balance another, and things got like this, and ever since the game started, he has not been playing a solo game. I'm like, yo, so and he may seem as though he is using these ladies to shine. I was like, this is exactly what Mpumi has been saying. Mpumi has been I've been shoving it off this guy's face, and he is really taking them in, you know. So he feels so bad that he has really hurt the ladies, despite knowing that they have one or two things going on outside for them. That is, they have a man outside, you know, and not knowing that things would actually turn out the way that it is right now, you know. So it's really getting to him, and he said he think it's too late for him to play a solo game. I'm like, yo, bro, he's so scared. Like, he do not even believe in himself, you know. So it's a game for him after all. That's why he could let all of those things in. So he said he think it's too late for him to play a solo game. In all of his complaining, ranting, he actually took so long, you know, pouring out his heart to Biggie. And Big Brother actually told him that he think this is the best time, as he has gotten this punishment as his Mavis or whatever it's called. You know, this is the best time to actually build yourself up and, you know, build your own self as Jareed. You know, after Biggie advised him, he left. As he walked out, he saw Mpumi. He rushed and said, come here, bro. He hugged Mpumi so tight. And Mpumi was like, what happened? What happened? The camera left there, and then Biggie called Lerato to the diary room. Thinking it is all over, Lerato started from where Jareed stopped. She came into the diary room, you know, feeling so sad. You know, she told Biggie that she is so sad. She's not having a great day. After, in fact, she started off with self talking about the housemates serving their punishment, you know, and everything. She started off that she has been feeling so sad, unhappy, and everything. Biggie was like, what is happening? She said, please, Biggie, talk to me. I just want to laugh. I don't want to cry. I don't like people see me cry. Trust Biggie. Now, the moment you say that, that is when he would actually want you to air your mind. He told her that the diary session is a safe place for you. It is not bad if you cry. You know, all of those stuff. She started crying, saying that she feel like a failure, that yesterday was just too much for her, you know, that the kind of headache she was having yesterday was just too much. But it's so painful that to see that the only person she thinks she could understand her and she could confide in was the person that was using it on her, that she purposely, remember, she did not partake in the head of house challenge yesterday because they are asked to braid the egg on their forehead. So she was like, she was having serious headache. That's yesterday. And then Papa Ghost was really touting her with that, was using it on her, you know, so that she really feels so bad that at this point, what she needs is her grandma. I'm like, yo, is this is this his eviction? Is it eviction fever right now? Or I don't understand. Everybody's calling on their grandma at this point, you know. Me, I can as well call her my grandma because I don't understand, guys, because Lerato is one person who is good with judging housemates, you know, and now she's feeling a type of way. Of course, we are all human beings, but it is when it gets to your turn that you would understand that we are human, you know. If you cannot understand as human being that others can feel a type of way, then how are we human, you know? So anyways, she was feeling so down, and then Biggie had to talk her out of it, you know, and then they discussed nominations, and then Biggie asked her about people always up, and then she actually mentioned that it means that people that is always up are strong and people really want to get them out. And she even used that to clamor for votes. Even herself and Jareed, they are trying to clamor for vote there, but Biggie did not even stop it. But there are some housemates that would do that. The moment they mention that, Biggie will say, do not mention that and all of that, you know. She was even saying the people that have kept me here, my this one and that one, my, what the chick, my colorful something, something. I don't know what she called her fan base, but she said colorful something, you know, that they kept me here. Even I have experienced a whole lot that Makeke said when he left the house that he's going to need a therapist. She now said she do not blame Makeke because what this house does to them is just too much, you know, that even the mention of this, as in when the biggest sound whenever they want to mention the housemate that is up, in fact, that she has experienced a whole lot in the house. She has left this door and she came back strong. You know, she said a whole lot, you know, and then she was also having this confidence like she's not going this Sunday. But guys, if you're Lerato stan, hope you're really voting her. Hope you are really voting her because baby girl feels so strong. I remember her man too feels strong. I do not blame them at all. I do not blame them one bit. It is Biggie I blame because of the, what's it called, the going out and coming back in. That is just it. But any which way, I love that Biggie played that, because if not, Lerato, Modisa, and Papagos would have been at home and then would have been watching people who would be doing family reunion for us. Anyways, guys, I'll be dropping my voice right here and now to see you guys later. Thank you so much for always sailing with me. Bye for now, babies.